Hello everyone, how are you guys today? Hope everyone is doing well. In today's blog, it's all about how to not kill Monstera Deliciosa. Let's get started. Let's talk about some of the most common ways people kill plants. Plants need three major things. 1. Water. Both underwater and overwater will eventually kill plants. Probably, the number one plant mistake is overwatering. Overwatering causes plants to drown from lack of oxygen or suffer root rot and fungus because they can't dry out properly. A good rule of thumb is to not water until the first inch of soil is dry. If you're not sure about this, just stick your finger into the plant up to your first knuckle. When you pull it out, it should have dust on it. If it's at all moist, let the plant sit another day or two before watering. Make sure your plant pot has drainage, usually in the form of holes at the bottom. After watering, and there's water sitting in the saucer, throw it out. Monstera Deliciosa would not like to be sitting with wet feet. That would be a culprit for root rot, which is very hard to reverse or save the plant. Another way of killing Monstera Deliciosa is by underwatering. If you have accidentally dried out, water the plants thoroughly until water comes out of the drainage hole in the bottom of the pot. Sometimes, however, in our attempts to avoid overwatering, we end up overcompensating and not giving our plants enough water. Underwater is equally detrimental to our plants' health. By the way, you will see some signs if you are overwater or underwatering the plants. If you notice leaves has browning edges, and if it feels crispy and light, it is underwatered. But if it feels soft and limp, it is overwatered. Overwatered, it will likely develop yellow edges on the leaves. And here's another way to kill plants. Light. Plants can be picky when it comes to the type of light they need. Most plants need bright indirect light. That means they get a decent amount of sunlight all day, but the sun is never directly on their leaves, or at the very least, you may give them an intense heat but for only just a few minutes. Typically, Monsteras needs 5 to 8 hours of bright indirect light a day to thrive. I was told that Monsteras are pretty hardy and can survive just fine in low light. I did that. I placed my Monstera Deliciosa indoors and nearing door to receive some fresh air. But with this condition, it didn't get well with my Monsteras. It started to look limpy, leaves are wilting, and started to fall off. If this happens, it usually indicates a problem. Monstera Deliciosa is not receiving enough light. In some instances that you have no place for them to receive bright light, you may try to use LED, fluorescent, or bulb light. You may do a further research regarding growing lights before using it. And here's some signs that your monsteras may be needing light. First, your matured monstera may need more light if the leaves won't split. Second, if the Monstera soil takes forever to dry out. Third, give your Monstera more light if you see some leaf discoloration. Fourth, if you see its newly unfurled leaf tip burned. I place this Monstera indoor and it has difficulty unfurling. Took quite a long time to unfurl, and when I noticed the browning tip, I placed her outside getting much light. And in a couple of days, it started to unfurl. I can't do much about this leaf anymore, but the only thing to do is correct the underlying problem and hope the plant continues its healthy growth. Fifth, if your Monstera is growing slowly, it definitely needs more light. Here's another common ways people kill plants. Last but not least, soil. All along, I always thought that potting mix and potting soil are equal. They are similar but not the same. We as gardeners should understand what are their differences. Potting soil contains garden soil, minerals, and organic matter. It's not considered sterile, which means it may contain fungi or other diseases. Potting soil is dense and heavy, but it might contain a good amount of nutrients from compost. We still have to add other amendments to improve the overall soil texture and drainage. Potting mix is a soilless medium, lightweight and fluffy. Potting mix is a sterile, makes it safer for plants because it doesn't contain pathogens that cause diseases. Potting mix contains components to improve aeration and drainage, such as peat moss, sphagnum moss, bark, cocoa chips, perlite, pumice, and so on. If you will research what medium is best for monsteras, they will suggest to use soilless medium or potting mix. But using soilless medium or potting mix is very costly. So I ended up using potting mix and potting soil together. That's all for today. I hope you learned something on this video. If you like it, please like and subscribe. And don't forget to hit the notification bell. Marami pong salamat. Till next. Bye!